Because
That was my reality too.
this kind of gets into the idea that, how you perceive things, how you view the world, that is true for you. That is, your perspective is your reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes into play a lot when it comes to that comes into play with thinking patterns. And if you're going to fixate on negative patterns or if you're going to fixate on positive ones, how you view things, how you perceive things in terms of mental health and everything else, that is reality. Which is, I hate when people say you choose to be happy, because I don't think that's necessarily true, but you do choose to an extent how you perceive situations. And I think because even that whole change concept, right? While I like that MGK has gone in a very pop punk direction, I like that for me. But if his fans that don't like rock music really like his rap, I understand what that feels like to feel alienated by your favorite artist or what have you, and I hate it. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting though, because that concept, just truthfully, how you perceive yourself and the world around you, it's just how it is. It's kind of like, so I heard about this thing recently. Are you familiar with I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this, the Baader Meinhof phenomenon?
What's that?
So
that sounds like a disease. Jeez.
So basically, it's the idea that you notice something new once it's new to you. So it's kind of where, you ever notice if you are interested in a specific car, right? You're thinking about buying a car. You're going to start seeing that car everywhere because your mind is fixating on that. And our mind looks for patterns and all these different things it can recognize naturally. So, or it's the same thing if you buy a car.
Yeah.
You ever realize you buy a car, and as soon as you buy it, you take it off the lot, you start seeing your car everywhere.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, that's very much part of the I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Baader or Baader, but I'm going to go with Baader Meinhof phenomenon.
Baader Meinhof.
Yeah, so it can be a word, a breed of dog, a particular type of house, whatever. You're just aware of. It's all over the place, and the reality is, more of it didn't appear. It's just that you start recognizing what's already there.
Yeah.
So,
for me, within the past week, actually last week, I literally saw my car every day. Mm-hmm. Obviously another one of my car.
Right.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Morning and afternoon. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This is weird.
Because the more you pay attention to something, the more it's going to occur, in your mind. The more you're going to recognize it. It's I don't know. The way the mind works is just fascinating, to be honest with you. It really is. So,
just like peas with ketchup.
What now?
So how you perceive things and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
When I was a little kid, my mom and dad told me and my brother, if you're, going to eat, and, obviously if you're going to eat, food, you're going to have a choice of vegetables to go with it. Mm-hmm. And they laid out all the vegetables known to mankind in front of us, and they're like, all right, choose which vegetable that you want for dinner. And my brother chose, I think, cauliflower or broccoli.
Those are good.
And I chose peas.
I don't like peas.
And
I did when I was younger, though.
And I had peas, but the first time I had a hot, steamy bowl of peas for dinner. Well, not just for dinner, but, it was part of the side for dinner.
Right.
I was like, this doesn't look right. And my mom, they're like, obviously eating dinner with us. They're like, what are you talking about? It's peas. It's a vegetable. Eat it. I'm like, no. These peas have to have something on them. I feel like they're missing something. And my parents are just befuddled. They're like, what? And I'm like, show you what I mean. I went over to the fridge and I opened up the fridge. I'm looking at the condiments.
Right.
Mustard, mayo, ketchup, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, this was what I thought was supposed to be on peas. I take the ketchup bottle, start squeezing ketchup on the peas, and I mix it together. I eat a spoonful of peas with ketchup mixed up. I'm like, this is good.
Ketchup is...
And my mom and dad are like, that's so nasty. I'm like, but it's good.
Well, it's funny you say that, because ketchup is, and I think especially for us Americans, ketchup is very much like kind of the go-to
Ketchup.
thing to... Well, okay, real quick, by the way, because you mentioned catsup. So this goes back into that brand distortion thing we were talking about a few months ago. Wow, a few episodes ago, where the Kleenex and tissues or ketchup is another one too, because once Heinz ketchup became the popular type of catsup, everyone started referring to all catsup as ketchup. So it's just interesting how those things work too. But we talked about that before. I just wanted to mention that catsup is similar.
As you were saying.
But ketchup is kind of the go-to thing to add flavor to things for a lot. Especially for kids, right? They'll put ketchup on everything,
Bro, I slathered all those peas in ketchup. It was...
The funny thing is, apparently, when I was a child, this whole fucking episode is just about like what we ate when we were kids or whatever, like how we were when we were kids and shit.
I promise it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah, no, it is. But according to my mom, at least, I used to say I used to love peas, and I would apparently I would say like I'd say like. I don't know. I'd ask for like broccoli and peas, and apparently I would just eat up peas a lot. Now I can't stand peas. I don't know why. I'm not a fan. But a lot of people apparently don't like broccoli. I like broccoli. I remember being in high school.
I hate cauliflower.
I like cauliflower too. But I remember being in middle school and high school. I would get those kind of foods going through the lunch. I would get broccoli and stuff going through the lunch line. People were like, "Oh, you got broccoli," and then they'd get peas. I'm like, "Oh, you got peas?
Yeah.
Fuck you," And then another thing, I don't like carrot. Carrots uncooked for the most part.
Ooh, I like them when they're fridged and you bite one in that
or maybe
crack.
Maybe I'm thinking of cooked. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just not something about carrots. I'm not a big fan of.
Like when I bite into a carrot and I hear that snap, or that crack. Ooh, that's like the best. Cause like for me, I know that's like the peak. See, I hate steamed vegetables.
I like them. I prefer steamed vegetables. But we talked about this too.
Like it's like the carrots are soggy, the broccoli's soggy, just everything's soggy.
I know we talked about this. You and I were talking about this last week too. I really like steak salad. I've gotten into ordering steak salads a lot when I go out, and normally I'll have leftovers because I don't eat much anyway. So I'll always have leftovers when I take them. When I take steak salad home, I'll put the whole thing in the microwave and heat it up because I don't give a fuck. I still prefer I prefer all of my food warm. Even if it's salad, even if it's vegetables.
Yeah, that's
just how strange. I am.
Warm salad.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
That's something new.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever you like.
Well, when I was
it's peas and ketchup. That's
peas
weird.
and ketchup. That's it, man. Well, when I was a young boy, when I was last week when I was with Logan and Patrick, I mentioned a little bit about my veganism journey, and I would take just mixed vegetables. Put them in the microwave, mix them up with garlic and maybe some salt and a few other things to spice it up a bit. And that was my, that's what I like steamed vegetables. Yeah. Not all the time every day, but I do like steamed vegetables.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack time.
Yeah, I do.
Lunchy time.
What did you say? Lunchy time?
Munchy time.
Munchy time. Munchy time.
Or snacky time.
Snacky time. Munchy time. I don't know. I don't snack much. Do you?
Some things.
Some things.
Some things. Like remember one time I was snacking for a whole day, no breakfast, lunch, or dinner, just snacking those veggie fries.
Do you mean the veggie straws?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
veggies.
Those are so, yeah.
Those taste like McDonald's French
You know
fries
what?
for some reason.
Well, the reality is they're
tomato.
primarily potato. They're not really that healthy for you.
Yeah.
Tell you something I do like, though. I like blue corn chips a lot. I've gotten into having those a lot. Those are pretty good. But speaking of chips, so I mentioned this to you before at one point. Not on record or anything.
Yeah.
We're friends. We hang out all the time. Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah, we cool.
But so there's this thing in a lot of sitcoms where they'll make their own fake brands of products.
Yeah.
One of them being Lex potato chips. Lex. It's like it's like Lay's, but it's LETS potato chips. And I always loved that. To me, that always made like that little thing always made it seem like this is a whole nother world, a whole nother universe. Yeah, because you had like, and I remember seeing it all the time on the live action Nick shows growing up.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, iCarly,
like
all these, because they had like, was it? Because the biggest thing I remember is when they started implementing Apple products. They had laptops and phones and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't an Apple, but it was a pear.
Yeah.
You know? And I just, that's such a clever way, I think, to get around, having to pay Apple, for example, you know? But they would do all kinds of things like that with,
Mocha-Cola for Drake and Josh.
Mocha-Cola, that's what it was called. Mocha-Cola, thank you.
Geez.
I forgot what it was called. Yes, you're right.
Mocha-Cola.
I find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's their own little universe,
It is. It's pretty cool. I do like it. It's dope. It's dope.
Yeah, Mocha-Cola, and then like their little Game Boy systems were like something.
Oh yeah, they did.
I forgot what the gaming system was.
Well, I remember there was an episode where Megan had like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah,
but it wasn't, or a Neopet, but it wasn't called that. It was. I think she called it. Did she call it a Geopet? Like GEO as in Earth pet? Was that it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm not.